Some of the planes managed to land safely, but far too many did not. In a very short time, the body count began to rise. The Avengers and other superhumans across the planet did what they could. Not all were successful. The crisis rocked through urban and suburban areas alike. Electronics failed, backup generators attempted to function, but in some cases they remained dormant as a result of complex computers designed to make them more efficient. Those were compromised again and again. Information that was buffered and saved became corrupted after repeated attempts to restart and restore that data. Fail-safe systems designed to protect the populace, and indeed, the very world, from critical situations, faltered and died. The most sophisticated technologies managed to pull through the worst situations because they were designed with catastrophic failure in mind. This year's model, as it were, had all the bells and whistles. The designs from a few years earlier, however, were lacking. The nuclear plant in Uchin County, North Gyeongsang Province, South Korea, began having issues only an hour into the interstellar assault on the planet. At first, the technicians and workforce at the plant tried to handle the matter themselves. They were trained for just such situations. When they realized they required outside help, they made the appropriate calls. Further attempts were made to resolve the crisis by following all the appropriate protocols, without success. Dr. Kim Jae-yin oversaw the running of the Ulchin nuclear plant. He sent the majority of the workers away as soon as he safely could, and decided to call in a favor from an old friend. Ignoring the rising radiation levels, and despite the rising tide of ice that tried to freeze his stomach and his heart, Jae-yin remained calm and efficient. He did not want to die. He suspected, however, that it was already too late for him to have any say in the matter. Dr. Bruce Banner was an old college friend. They debated many times over games of chess or the occasional beer. They had never agreed, but it was an amiable sort of conflict. When he finally reached Dr. Banner, it was through a SHIELD communications center. Perhaps the only reason his struggling communications got through. Foregoing any pleasantries, Kim begged his acquaintance to use his influence and send the Avengers to the area in an effort to save as many lives as possible. Bruce promised to do what he could. The connection ended. Dr. Kim Jae-yin then began to make peace with death. At first, it was only the monuments. Chhatarpur district, India, wasn't a vastly populated area, and that proved to be for the best. The signal that struck near the Khajuraho monuments did not care whether people were in the way. The signal did not feel. It simply did what it was meant to do. It changed the world. There was an extensive collection of temples around Chhatarpur, including the Khajuraho temples dating back 1,000 years and more. None were spared. The ground around them was saturated with alien radiations that began their work immediately upon impact, altering not only the landscape, but also all life in the area. The temples stood near the town of Khajuraho, boasting a population of over 20,000 people. The ancient structures and the land around them were quickly overwhelmed by huge, twisted, vine-like growths and a dark, viscous substance beneath which every living being disappeared. A strange mist fell over the land, resembling a starry snowfall, and with it came utter silence. Then the ground began to move, writhe, as new human-like forms rose up and freed themselves from the dark substance. These humanoid forms were muscular giants, naked and genderless, with dark blue skin and standing 20 feet in height. Each monolithic being had a grotesque, cube-shaped head with 4 expressionless faces, one pointing in each direction. Rising from the alien muck, moving without any noticeable form of communication between them, the creatures set about building a large, circular structure. Each individual carried huge stones that seemed too heavy to lift. These they assembled with uncanny precision. When complete, the structure's configuration evoked the symmetries of the Nazca lines of southern Peru, as seen from high above. Their task complete, the blue figures formed a living ring around the construct. As one, they reached out, placing their hands against its outer wall. For the first time, an expression appeared on their many faces, an expression of pain or anger. Dr. Bruce Banner peered at the screen, studying the feed sent to him by the SWORD telescopes located aboard the orbiting